So I'm waiting for Igor. I'm at the intersection now of Fort Washington and Copper because he has to pass by here to get to the parking lot over there. I know he's up because they texted me at 4:30. Returned my text, that is. I'm definitely not doing this ride alone. If something happens, then I got to do something closer to home. Maybe go up the major climbs a number of times. Okay, until later. Well, I'm here with Igor at Prather. He's riding much stronger today. In fact, I had to make sure I stayed on his wheel on the flats and the climbs. About the only time I got to slow down was when I went to the front. So right now we're trying to get some water set up. I have definitely not fresh today. Yeah, and it's been about 37.5 miles so far. So it's going to be a long day. I have my combination of Hammer Nutrition, sustained energy, and heat. I mix like a 1-to-1 ratio. Makes it much more palatable for me. And every once in a while, about once an hour after the 2-hour mark, I reach into my pockets and I take one of these packets of various nutrients that I have, both multivitamin and Krebs cycle-oriented nutrients. So until the next time, it's a nice morning out here. We're going to be climbing and doing our climbing in the upper elevation, and that'll help with the heat. Alrighty.
Anything else?
No, water's good. Water's good, thanks. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we just arrived in North Fork, and thank goodness, at about the 39-mile mark just past Prather, I started feeling better. I'm sure the underlying problems I was having earlier are going to be there when I am done with the ride, but for right now, doing much better. Also, since I'm about 40 pounds lighter than Igor, that helps a lot, so I'm not hanging on to his wheel on the climbs for dear life. So now that the ride's getting a little longer, he's doing more of an endurance pace, and that's what we did when we went up Powerhouse North. And so I was able to hold my pace, and we were able to ride together. So right now, I am showing 56 miles. So I think I have about 100 to go. It's a nice day. All the climbing that we're going to be doing now is going to be real high. And so until next time. Okay, I'm going to try a little experiment here. See if the sound is affected by the wind when I'm this close. We're on the way to Pines Resort, but before we hit Pines Resort, we're going to turn right on B Shore, climb B Shore up and then down to the store and then double back. By the time we get to the turn to Beach Shore, we should have about, according to Igor, 6,000 feet of climbing. By adding the Beach Shore out and back, that'll bring us back to up to 10,000 feet of climbing. Now, we call Igor Mad Russian because of all the miles that he does, but he's really Ukrainian. It's a lot easier than saying or writing the ubiquitous Ukrainian, so we call him Mad Russian. That guy is amazing. We are in Pines Resort, and this is just our first stop. We're here to get topped off with water because we're going to hit Beach Shore next, and that's going to be about 12 miles of climbing. So until the next one, enjoy the sights, and I'll see you guys in a bit. So we just started Beach Shore, and I took a quick nature break and let Igor get some distance, and we're climbing at our own pace and then meet at the top. I'm sporting a 5339 in the front and a let's see, 1129 in the back. Igor has a compact 5034 in the front and 1127 in the back. So he has more gears than I do. We may be needing them. Well, I've already climbed about 3 miles and it seems like 5. I'm heading back because the climbing has stopped for the moment. I'm going to regroup with Igor and then continue on again. I rarely have done this climb, so I don't know how much climbing is left, but I would imagine quite a bit because I'm thinking there's about 9 miles to our destination. So I'll probably have to descend about a mile or so, pick him up, and then continue on back on climbing. Why am I descending to him? Because this is an opportunity for more training and climbing. No need to waste any pedal strokes. That 12-hour goal for me is not going to magically appear. You got to work for it. So I'm climbing back up now. I was ascending, let's move this over here, descending and descending, and I still hadn't seen him. And I'm thinking, okay, what's going on here? Apparently, I finally found him. He was on the side, stopped, and kind of relaxing. He had first some Gatorade, and he does this. He usually takes it, but he dilutes it. Apparently he didn't dilute it enough, and he started getting stomach cramps. So he sent me up ahead to climb this. I may not go all the way to Jones' store, but I'll do the majority of the climb. Probably take about an hour to climb this, and then come back down. Hopefully he's feeling better, and he'll have started climbing up. Otherwise, we'll continue on down. So I'm thinking by an hour he should be doing better. Okay, guys, time to climb some more. So I made it to Beach Shore Meadows, and the spigot didn't have a handle on it, so I went inside, spoke to a few ladies, and Abigail, the dog, which is pretty cool. So I replaced that half liter of water that I was carrying with a small water and used that to fill up my bottles. and I am walking up to the road. I have to climb 2 miles more to get to the top of the B-Shore climb, and then descend I will do. Let's see, Igor. Hopefully he's feeling much better and he started climbing back up. Oh. I also had a Coke when I was there. Not Diet Coke, straight Coke. That's the best way to go. So that it chews up the inside of your stomach lining. It felt good right now. Okay, time to get on the bike, and I'll talk to you guys later. We are now in Oakhurst. That B-Shore climb was a long ass climb, and then it was a long ass descent. I connected with Igor on the way down, and his stomach distress was all gone, and he was well rested. He was so rested that once we got to the bottom of B-Shore Road, we turned toward 41, and then he was essentially taking me by the scruff of my neck and pulling me all the way to 41. He'd be big ringing a lot of the big climbs, or he'd be standing sprinting in a smaller ring all the way up. So once we got to 41, we turned left, and there was kind of a bike lane type of marking, and for about 3 miles, and now we are in Oakhurst. So we're going to have to get some things here at the liquor store. We are going to proceed down and then turn left, and then we're going to end up at the Shell station at the top of Walker's at some point, about 50 miles, almost 50 miles from where we are now. Right now I'm sitting at about 101 miles. Well, the mad Russian finally slowed down. These long climbs are taking the toll on him relative to my being 40 pounds lighter. So this is going up and up and up. We're heading, let's see, previously I said it was like 50 miles to the top of Walker's. No, it's 50 miles I think to the park and ride where we met. It was actually like 16 miles I think. So we're about halfway there to the Shell station, top of Walker's. Good Lord, this thing just keeps going up and up. Well, it's now 2:49, and we are at the Shell station on top of Walker's. We are going to head in down Walker's to go home. Right now I am showing about 119 miles. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to get my 160, and according to Igor, I must have at least 12,000, 12 to 13,000 feet of climbing. We'll find out once I download. While the pace has not been 12-hour Bass Lake pace, I did accomplish what I wanted to with lots of climbing, and this has given me some confidence that the 12-hour goal is, how do I put this, theoretically possible. So I feel pretty good about that. day. It is it's about 6:20, and I've gone 170 miles, and about we're estimating 13,000 feet of climbing, which is what I wanted to do. Sit down so I don't pass out. So Igor likes to at a lot of the stops, he has this stuff that he consumes. So he gets a Frappuccino, and then he chases it down with a mixture of diluted Gatorade and Cytomax. That's just one of the reasons we call him the Mad Russian. Well, it wasn't working today, and it caused a lot of distress in his stomach before we got to B Shore, and that's where he had to, that you saw that he had to stop. And then after the rest, then he was real strong again, and pulling strongly all the way to 41. And then we cruised down to Oakhurst. But then when we pulled off of Oakhurst, turned left at whatever that road is there, Crane Road maybe, there's a lot of climbing, and he started to go under again. When we got to the Shell station, he had another Frappuccino without the Cytomax, and it appears that the Frappuccino is what put him under. So he's suffering again, and the poor guy went into death march again. And of course, I have to be there for him, and you know, that's what teammates do. And he has saved my ass a lot of times on these long rides, so I got to pay back just a little of it. So I felt good about that. So once we dropped him off, or I dropped off at Woodward Park because he lives near there, then I continued on and I made it home. So I'd love to do a long one in the middle of the week next week, kind of like what I did with Friday's workout, but I'm not sure I'll be able to. I have a couple of new client rides going on next week, and then a couple more the week after. By the way, I have a few more spots left if any of you are interested in getting coached. Very inexpensive for customized coaching. Anyway, be that as it may, I'm going to go inside, have my recovery drink, take my shower, then eat. Then probably eat again, and eat one more time. Once I download this, I'll see how talking while riding worked. I'm guessing that the camera is a little cattywampus during the ride little bits, but just more things to improve on. Thanks for viewing. If you like this, you like the type of format, hit like, put any comments you have below, and until the next time.